Manziel is being described as a first in, last out mentality type of guy, and he has shown up with a better knowledge of the offense. Every day, something new about Johnny Manziel. Good guy, bad guy. Let's talk about this. Danny, I'll give the question to you. Do you feel that he is being overhyped?
There's no question about it. But, and Skip, you might be surprised about this, I mean, they're giving the people what they want to see. I mean, I found myself, we were doing radio, Coach and I were on Daria Bell the other day, and they had every single snap of his practice was airing on TV. And I found myself watching it. Oh, yeah. I was like, I want to see how he's doing. How is he coming along? There's no question.
You wanted to see the misfires, right?
No, I would never root against anybody. I hope he does. I hope he smashes it out of the park. I hope he changes the way that... I hope he does, yeah, right? But I think he's made it really hard on himself. You know, and I think Andre Reed's attitude, those quotes that you hear, are how a lot of veterans and NFL guys in every locker room across the league, and maybe in his own locker room, I don't know for sure, I don't know his own teammates, but they're probably thinking the same way because there is
vitriolic,
around the league, around the league, absolutely. There's definitely that sort of attitude, which is going to make it harder for him because you know how fired up everybody's going to be to stop him when he comes and he gets his opportunity to shine. So yeah, he's overhyped, but I want to see it. I'm buying in. I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
But gut feeling, you think he will fail?
Early on, I do. I think he'll provide some sparks. I think he'll be able to do there and somewhat. He'll be able to, you know, improvise. He's got incredible athleticism. He's got good arm talent. But ultimately, over a 16-game schedule, is he going to be your franchise quarterback, the guy you can rely on to lead, to stay healthy, to not make those mistakes? I'm not buying in yet.
Firm.
I've sat here and listened to all this for, I don't know, before they drafted Johnny.
2 years.
Yeah,
he started in college.
It's kind of ironic. I sit and chuckle because I look at it in this way. We've had actually a blueprint of who Johnny Manziel is.
Right.
On the field and off the field.
Sure.
Since high school. Does he go out socially? Done it since high school. Did he do it in college? Did it in college. Won a Heisman Trophy. Then the Cleveland Browns, they had all this information. And they went, okay, but we still want to draft him.
Well, a couple of them in the front office did, and a couple of them didn't.
So they drafted him. You know, and I told a story. I told you. It's like the Tower of Terror in Disney World.
Okay.
Okay? My two little girls, Vivian and Gabrielle, 3 years ago, we go to Disney World. And we walk in the park, and the first thing they see is this Tower of Terror. And all the kids are screaming. And they want, Daddy, we want to ride that ride. I said, girls, you don't want to ride that ride. That's the Tower of Terror. Wait till tomorrow. Maybe you change your mind. The next day, Daddy, we want to go. I said, you want to go? Let's go. We go. We take the guide. The guide standing at the door. I'm there. I'm saying, I'm not riding this ride. Want nothing to do with it. And the girls, as the door closed, Daddy, you coming? Not coming. Ride goes down. I get to the bottom. My girls' eyes are like this, like saucers. They're like this. Daddy, I said, that's the Terror ride. That's Johnny Manziel. What he did in college, he's doing now in pro football. So don't be surprised, Cleveland. Right. This is what you bought. Okay. You bought the guy that has a social life off the field. And you can't get mad at him because he had success in high school. He won the Heisman Trophy in college doing it. Why all of a sudden, because you gave him a Cleveland Brown helmet in the jersey, you thought he's going to change? He's not changing. That's who you got.
Did they want to ride the Tower of Terror again?
They bought it. They bought it.
That's the question.
Eventually, did they? No, my girls went. Now, 2 years later, my girls said, we might go ride the ride again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they might.
That's his point.
That's what I'm saying. So we're getting mad at Johnny Manziel because what he does off the field. Johnny Manziel, biggest problem right now is the playbook.
Okay.
Yep. He better figure out the playbook.
It's a big problem.
So he can use his ability.
Right.
And he's going to have to learn this in pro football if he's going to have any success. 75% of his success in college was outside the pocket.
Okay.
30% of his success needs to be outside the pocket. The rest of it needs to be inside, like the rest of the guys that play that way. And he will be okay. But if he can't learn that playbook and he can't convince Alex Mack and Joe Thomas in that huddle that I'm all in, man, I'm the first in, the first out, and I'm all about football, he's going to have a hard way to go.
Bayless.
Tower of Terror, give it to me.
By the way, You just brought up a stat that is completely off the top of my head, but I'm going to throw it out because I had it last spring before the draft, and now I can't remember if he was first or second. But last year in college football, inside the pocket, Johnny Manziel had either the first or the second best QBR in all the land, just for the record, because he can, when he stations himself in the pocket, he can throw some darts now.
Yeah,
they are accurate darts.
You better stay in there.
But you saw that pro day. You talked about arm talent, and Ron Jaworski included of the top pick quarterbacks of Bortles, Bridgewater, Carr. He had the best arm. Johnny had the best arm. So the ability is there to do it from the pocket if he chooses to do it from the pocket. I'm going to tell you what happened last week on the show. We had both Nick Saban and then Bob Stoops, as you recall, both of whom got torched by Johnny football during the last couple of years. Stoops in the Cotton Bowl, remember that?
Yep.
It was one of the most sensational. Again, I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan. I've never seen anything like it. He wrecked my football team. At halftime, I read later that they were going to the coaches saying, we had no idea he was this quick, this fast, and this accurate. He picked them to pieces with arm and legs. Then Nick Saban had a whole offseason to get ready for him after what he did to Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa the year before, and you remember what happened. Even though they lost the game, I would say Johnny put on a pretty big show against a defense that was regarded at that moment as the best in college football. Both coaches, when I asked, how will Johnny translate, they're both leaving the set. This wasn't on the air. But eyebrows went way up like, hey, he could do some things in pro football if, back to your point, if he can stay healthy. I don't know if he can stay healthy. He is also high IQ on and off the field. It's another case of, Johnny, what were you thinking off the field when you did that? And then what was that about, Johnny? What were you thinking when we went to the fraternity parties in Austin, Texas, up to your arch rival school? What were you doing? What were you thinking? I don't know what he was thinking. He's got the rebellious streak. It's what you said back to high school. He's going to keep saying to the adults, nah, I'm going to do this. Just watch, and I'll be okay. I'm going to do this. I have made the point on this show again and again. I fear occasionally he has alcohol issues, that he can't handle his alcohol. Insiders continue. Even last week I heard from somebody very close to him, Johnny's fine with the alcohol. He's basically a champagne sipper, but he likes to be the life of the party, and he is rebellious, and he will still put himself in positions, and you talked about it. There are certain positions you cannot put yourself in. I do find it significant, though, that there is obviously greatness in LeBron James, and there is greatness in Drake, and there is greatness in Floyd Mayweather Jr., and they see some greatness in this kid. They want to be around him because they think he's special. Jerry Jones, for what it's worth, we quoted him yesterday as saying, this is a special football player. I think he's being hyped correctly because I think he can play pro football at a very high level if he can wise up enough, grow up enough to stay healthy. And I don't know if he can because I thought Robert Griffin could stay healthy, and it took wrecking his knee to figure out, oh, I guess I can't do that anymore. And has he learned? I don't know. I hope Robert's learned.
If he goes out and wrecks the league, he can do whatever he wants off the field. We won't criticize him. And you won't hear vitriol like that from veterans. They'll be wanting to party with him. I just think he'd be the next Joe Namath. If he does it, there will be no questioning what he does. Guys will be wanting to go to Vegas with him, going to the Drake concerts with him. If he does it on the field, it's all about what you do on the field. If you go wreck the league, he will zero questions about what he does on his weekends, where he goes in his free time. It will stop. But if he struggles, and that's my concern for him. That's why it's making it more of a challenge for him. If he throws 3 picks the first week, people are going to say, well, remember he was in Vegas? That's why. And it has no correlation to it, but it's just making it harder for yourself.
Okay, allow me to say about Andre Reed. I worked with him. It's back in the day, in the early stages of this show. And so I know him pretty well. And I was surprised by these comments, by how harsh they were. And I'm not sure the context in which they were said to a magazine.
New York Magazine.
New York Magazine, okay. But, look, in Buffalo, would they boo him out of town? This is just me, but if they gave him the reins in Buffalo, I think pretty soon they'd be cheering him all the way to the playoffs. But that's just me because this kid is fearless. He wants the pressure, and I loved the press conference, the media session he did last Saturday, in which I just happened to watch it live because I was on the treadmill and I was a prisoner, and I watched the whole thing, and I kept thinking, God, he speaks like he's a 15-year veteran. He was talking about we. There was no me in here. But then he talked about how happy he is to realize his dream of playing pro football. He said, yeah, I'm having fun off the field too, because this is all a dream to me. He's got a big smile on his face. He feels no pressure. This is not pressure to him. Once he grasps the playbook, I think he will win this job and he will win this city.
He hasn't been booed yet.
He hasn't played pro football yet.
Right.
No,
right.
I hear you.
He hasn't played pro football yet. He got a jersey. And he got a helmet. He's got
Okay, what's your gut feeling? How well will he translate?
I think he translates well if he learns how to play more in the pocket. Because if not, he's going to have a short career.
Okay.
And this stat you were referencing earlier, 73.5%. That's Manziel's completion percentage from inside the pocket.
Yeah, and there's a QBR number that was extraordinary. Like
College football.
Yeah,
it was college football.
football.
Now it was SEC college football. You got to give him that.
College football.
Okay.
Not professional football.
College. Okay.
It wasn't ACC football.
College football.
Right. College.
There's a difference.
You get college then professional.
Professional
See,
football.
Florida State doesn't count.
it.
They're not really in the ACC. They're in a league of their
plays
own,
on
right?
Sunday.
Professional Sunday. Okay.
They play on professional football. They play on Sunday.
Not Saturday.
College play on Saturday. High school play on Friday.
We got it, y'all. Okay,
We
so
got it.
professional
Wait,
Sunday.
some people
college
think Johnny's
Saturday.
been